Hi, Happy New Year. It's January 2nd, 2021, and as promised, I'm here on our second day of storytelling. My name is Benji, and I'm here to share with you a story, more like a memory that comes from the USA. Do we know where the USA is on the map? Yes, it is. It's right here on the globe. So we will take the USA out of here and we'll put it on the hook for today's storytelling. Okay, well, one of the authors, Mr. Vincent Price, very famous in the industry of horror, and here in my audience today is my children, Vivian and Tommy, who are here, who are helping me, supporting me. So again, they are in our audience today. Well, one of the stories that he wrote, and let me quiz you. Let's see if you know this story because I watched this story on TV, and I remember it was during the daytime, and it really traumatized me. I think because it's the reason why I never liked fishing, and I think it's because of this story. Let's see if you know what I'm talking about. Mr. Vincent Price wrote a story. It was about a fisherman. Now, the fisherman went fishing around this very misty lake, and he sat down next to a tree. And I remember that he caught a small fish, like a little guppy, but he didn't throw it back. He, instead of throwing it back into the sea, because people like to say, if it's too small, you throw it back because it gets trained to not go for the hook when it becomes a bigger fish, right? But he didn't throw it back into the lake. He threw it somewhere else. So the baby died. Well, the fisherman took a nap. When he awoke, there was this big shiny apple right next to him, and he was very hungry. So what he did is he grabs the apple, right, and he takes a bite. But guess what? He got snagged because in the apple there was this hook. It snagged him, and there was this string that dragged him. It dragged him right into the back into the lake. So that he was like choking, and it really traumatized me because it was a really scary film. I thought, and it was such a short clip though. Now, I was looking for this film for a long time. I could never find it. But at the end of my video, I have a little surprise for you because I did find it. But before, what's the whole point of the story? Well, this story was what helped me pass the CELTA course. It inspired me to make an almost award-winning CELTA course that was talked about for quite a while. And it's something I was very proud of personally. So before, I will go ahead and show you my lesson.
What is it? CELTA.
One more.
What is the CELTA?
The CELTA is the Certificate in English Language to Teach Adults. It's now called a Certificate in English Language to teach speakers of other languages. So they kind of did change the program. And it's considered to be a level 5 in the Office of Qualifications of Education in the United Kingdom, which is actually equivalent to a degree, but one level below the actual bachelor's, which I find interesting because it was actually a 1 month program. Hardest thing I ever did, though. Whew. Yeah.
And why did you do that, CELTA?
Oh, it's a great question. Oh, you know, I'm not going to lie to myself. You know, my motivations for doing a CELTA course when I first started, it wasn't for the right reasons. All I wanted to do was, do something that would make me more marketable, to teach English in the English teaching industry. I thought that, this is turning into a testimony now more than a story. Okay, but it's true. The truth is that I thought that I could just pay the money and I can pass the CELTA course no problem and get my certificate, and it wasn't about that. I was really wrong. I failed actually my first interview because I was trying to do my CELTA in Vietnam because the cost of living is much cheaper. So I thought, hey, I can go out and do it, no problem. Well, I failed that interview. So my next step was go to Thailand and do my CELTA course. And I was thinking, well, these guys are serious, huh? I had a whole 30-page like interview paper. I had to send it in. I got accepted into the program. They had 20 students in the CELTA program and the Bangkok International House program. And let me tell you, I did it. My motivations for doing the CELTA really changed while I was doing the course there. And the thing is, what's sad was that I was very arrogant. You know, I thought that because I was a native English speaker from the United States, no problem, I can pass this course. I haven't been more wrong in my life. Turns out that the course was so difficult, and that's because I was a former information intelligence analyst with the U.S. Navy too. This thing, the CELTA, was the hardest thing I ever did. And it turns out that the non-natives who were doing the course also, they're the ones that helped me pass the course. How's that for an ironic twist? So the motivation for doing the course changed. At the end, I was about to fail the test, the CELTA course. It was down to the last micro teaching because I already had failed 3 out of 4 micro teach. Actually, no, 2 out of 4 micro teachings. The first one they just kind of give it to you, but the fourth one I was about to fail. But I worked so hard, and there you go. What was a micro teaching that passed me finally? It was this one that I'm about to show you. Okay, but I'm not going to teach you now. I'm just going to show you my CELTA inspired lesson plan that I did, and it was all thanks to Mr. Vincent Price. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, any more questions? Okay.
No.
All right. Well, thank you
you.
again. Thank you. Okay. Well, let me turn this board over and show you. Here is the grammar lesson in its entirety based on the form using the prepositions. So here, all I did was the subject. Again, it inspired me to do the lesson. Here I have my fisherman and the apple. These are the subjects, and I just included some other pictures in the story. And I have my prepositions that I was teaching for the lesson, as well as the matching cards, and how I started eliciting with CCQing all of the prepositions with just a basic picture from the beginning. Now, one of my favorite activities besides the story was a story that I wrote by my own words based on the memory, and here is a scary story that I will read to you. Jack was a fisherman, right? He came, and then the students have to fill in with the right prepositions, right? He walked out of his house and walked along the street to the park. Jack climbed up some stairs and walked over a bridge. Jack then went up some stairs and walked down a path. Jack saw a hidden path blocked by tall grass. Jack crawled through the tall grass and past some ducks who were just staring at him. Jack found a lake, and there was a sign that said no fishing. Jack didn't care. He cast his fishing line and immediately caught a small fish. Jack cast his line again and took a nap. When Jack awoke, there was a big shiny apple. Jack picked it up, took a bite, and to his horror, a hook caught him, and something very strong dragged Jack into the water. No one ever saw Jack again. So you see, that was Mr. Price's story and here's the surprise. The surprise is I found it on YouTube. So here it is, everyone. So for you to share in my memory and in my trauma, if you type in on YouTube, Escapes by Mr. Vincent Price, prepare to be entertained and perhaps a little traumatized by it, but please don't let your kids watch it because it affected me. But then again, it does show that I turned a negative into a positive. It was what helped me win the CELTA and pass the CELTA finally. Now, with all of my material here, as well as the lesson plan, the CELTA lesson plan copy, again, all the PTT of how I passed this lesson is right here, as well as my worksheets that I used using this, and again, another worksheet for prepositions involving a treasure hunt. plus some extras, worksheets that I will throw into this package. Again, look at the details under my under the video. If you want to order my all this material, no problem. It includes the shipping, and yes, and with the shipping, I also throw in the an A4 case very similar to this. Again, so again, thank you everyone for listening to my story today, and I hope you enjoy Escapes by Mr. Vincent Price. Now, when you order my the material, again, I will give you my Skype ID because I do want to meet you on Skype. I will give you extra hints on Skype on what kind of activities that you can do. One of the activities that I really enjoy doing, I did, was something that everyone likes to do. We see those darts right there. You can see, and we can go ahead and toss one of those darts over there here to make a story. Okay, go ahead. Well, we got out of the way there. Oh, so over. Can you make a sentence with over?
I went over the bridge to the river
Okay, why did you go to the river?
to see the duck.
All right, to see some ducks. You see, now originally we used a sticky ball as the lesson plan will show. This time though, we're just using darts. These days, the kids have these Nerf guns and everything. Now, to promote writing, again, the lesson plan does have these teaching techniques that will help inspire writing. For example, I have this cup of genres right here. And the cup of genres means that the students would have to rewrite this story using the same pictures, not in any order of the picture sequence. And for example, if the group picks, for example, romance, then they have to write a romantic story using all the picture elements as you saw in my horror story. You know, imagine choosing a comedy. How would you make a funny story out of this? You see, so that was one thing that, you know, my students in TESOL, when I taught this, they had to do it. It was an enjoyable lesson. So again, little activities like that, I will help with you on Skype as well to give you more pointers. Other than that, everyone, again, thank you for your time today, and I'll see you tomorrow, January 3rd, with the next story. Bye-bye, and have a blessed evening.
Bye.